Hey everyone, welcome to Recipes 101. My name is Blakesley. I'm an onboarding specialist here at MarketMan, and today we're going to be going over POS integrations, preparations and sub-recipes, menu items, modifiers, and then we'll take a look at the cookbook. So when we first come into MarketMan, when we're talking about recipes, we have three different types of recipes. These include preparations, sub-recipes, and menu items. In order to get your menu items into MarketMan, we either have to sync with your point of sale or we will manually upload them for you. To check if we sync with your point of sale, you can come down to Settings, Company, and then just come up to the POS tab. From here, you come to the POS type dropdown, and you'll be able to see all the different types of POS systems that we integrate with. If you happen not to see yours on this list, we're constantly integrating with new systems, so feel free to come up to the help and support section or just contact your customer success manager and see maybe if we do have an integration with them. However, if you don't, there's no problem. We can do it manually for you as well. So the first type of recipe we're going to talk about today is going to be sub-recipes. All recipes can be found underneath the inventory tab. So you're going to come down to the sub-recipes and preparations tab. From here, you can add a sub-recipe or preparation just by clicking on the Add button. So a sub-recipe is anything we make in bulk. So this can be, various examples would be things like pizza dough, sauce, batter, salsa. It could be pretty much anything, just anything that you're making in a large batch. So for our bakery example today, we're going to make a sub-recipe of sprinkles. You can add a category if you'd like, and then you're just going to come down to the ingredients and unit of measurement section, and we're going to start adding in all your ingredients. The yield UOM is the weight or volume that you're making this batch in. So today we're going to say that we're making in ounces, and we're going to say that this batch makes 30 ounces of sprinkles. Now you're just going to come down and click on the Add button and start adding in your ingredients. You just start typing in your ingredient and it will have a list of your inventory. You just click on it and then you can put in your measurement. Now you just keep coming down the list and adding in all the ingredients that you need. Keep in mind you can add in as many ingredients as you'd like. And if you come across one of your ingredients isn't here, you can always save, add in your inventory item, come back and continue. Now that we have all our ingredients in for this sub-recipe, we're going to be able to see our cost per unit and our cost per yield. So this is pretty cool. It's showing us to make 30 ounces of sprinkles, it's going to cost us $18.75, and that's going to be 63 cents per ounce. When we come down here, we can add in a storage area, a min on hand, a par. We can check off how we want to count it. And we can also add in a procedure. This is going to come in more handy when we're making things like frosting or batter, or something like that, that actually has a cook time. And when you're done, you're just going to click Save, and that will be added into your sub-recipe. The next type of recipe we're going to look at is going to be a preparation. So to add a preparation, you just come up to the right-hand corner again and click Add. So a preparation is anything that we also make in bulk, but we want to manage the on-hand inventory level of. This means when we add this into our menu item, when we sell that menu item, it's going to deplete from our batch of it and not from the individual inventory item itself, which we'll go over a little bit later. So for our first preparation, we're going to make vanilla frosting. Then you're going to type in the name. If you'd like to add a category, you can. And now we're going to come down like before and add in all of our ingredients. So we're going to say that this makes 45 ounces of frosting. So now again, we're just going to come down and add in all your ingredients. A good thing to keep in mind when you are adding in your ingredients. Once you start building out your sub-recipes and preparations, you're going to get to the point where you can see them in here. So when we're looking at an inventory item, if it has purchase next to it, that means that you're dealing with the raw inventory item itself. If you see sub-recipe or preparation next to it or menu item, it means that you're dealing with exactly what it says. So when you're building out your recipe, especially for sub-recipes and preparation, you want to be using the actual purchase item itself. Like I said, you'll just come through. You add in all the ingredients that you need. And now again, we're going to be able to see our cost to make this preparation, $16.43, and it costs us 37 cents an ounce. When we are making a preparation, we want to make sure that we check this off and define it as a preparation. When we do that, it's going to allow us to do a production event, like I said, so then we'll be able to see our on-hand inventory of this preparation. Now when we come down, we can add in our procedure. So we can say it takes 15 minutes to make this. If it's something that you were baking or cooking, you add in your cook time, and now you can just add in your instructions. Melt butter, mix in sugar, whatever it might be. You just go through, you add that all in. Make sure that, again, you have this checked, and then you're going to click Save. And now we have our preparation. Some other examples of a preparation could be things like I said, batter, anything like that. Some tips and tricks as well when we're looking at preparations and sub-recipes. We know sometimes a lot of restaurants use things like cups, tablespoons, whatever it might be. And here in MarketMan, we only use weight and volume. So we don't have cups, tablespoons, that type of measuring. However, if you find a recipe, say you're using like a tablespoon of salt in a ton of recipes, you can actually come in here and create that as a sub recipe, so you don't have to continually add in a tablespoon of salt every time you're using it. For here, you can just add in a tablespoon of salt. We're going to use EA and just say that it's 1 tablespoon. We'll add in our salt, and we'll say we know that it's 3 ounces is equal to 1 tablespoon of salt. Then we're going to click Save, and from now on, we're always going to have that with us. So we don't have to keep doing that conversion every single time. Another type of sub-recipe that we have could be like a kit. So for example, we could have a drink-to-go kit. Every time we sell a hot drink or an iced coffee, we can just add in that to-go kit, so then it depletes from our paper goods. So we're going to say that this makes just 1 kit. So for this, we're going to say we have a cup. We're going to have our hot sleeve, and that's the kit. So it cost us 25 cents to make this kit. We're just going to click Save, and now every time we're building out a drink as a menu item, we can just use that drink-to-go kit instead. So now before we move on to menu items, just something to mention with the preparations. So to actually create a production event, you'll just come down to the production events tab. You can come up in the corner and click Add, and you'll be able to add in how much of that preparation you produced, and then that will be added to your on-hand inventory. If you want to dive in more to production events, we have a whole video on it, which can be found in our help and support section. The next recipe we're going to look at is menu items, which is also underneath the inventory section. So to add in a menu item, these are already going to be pulled in from your point of sale, or we're going to have to already manually upload them for you. So the first example today that we're going to build out is going to be a chocolate cupcake with vanilla frosting. So I'll click on this, and you can see it's already been pulled in from our POS or manually uploaded. We have our category, we have our code, and we already have our price. So now it's just simple. We need to add in our ingredients. So now, like we built out our sub-recipes and our preparations, we're going to have our vanilla frosting already on hand. So here, right here, we have our vanilla frosting, and we can add in how much is in 1 cupcake. So we'll say that it uses 3 ounces. We'll add in our chocolate batter. And now we have our recipe. So now this is a cool tool to use in MarketMan. We can say that we're selling this cupcake for $3.50, but is costing us $1.15 to make this cupcake. So right now our food percentage isn't that high, but we'd like to say we want to keep our food percentage underneath 30%. So if we want to add in a food cost alert, we can do that right here. And it will show us a target price for what we need to sell these cupcakes for in order to hit our 30% food cost. So it's just a cool tool to be using. We can also add in our procedure and cook time down here. And when you're done, you're just going to click save. And from there, you'll be able to see your food cost, and your retail price. Some other types of menu items we have would be something like a modifier. So a modifier can be anything from taking something off of a menu item, adding something for a menu item. So from here, we can filter down to our modifiers. An example we have would be decorating a cake. So if someone purchases a cake and they say, oh, it's my son's birthday, we need it decorated, we're going to add on cake decoration. So now this will already be pulled through our POS, and we can come in and we can just add in whatever ingredients we need. So for example, like we built out our rainbow sprinkles before, instead of adding in, our sprinkle recipe, our sub recipe. So like I said before, just keep in mind the purchase versus sub recipe. So we know this is what we want to be using. So instead of adding in all the sprinkles that we need, we're just going to use our sub recipe. We'll say how much we use. And now again, it's going to show us how much it costs for us to make it and how much we're selling it for. And when we're done, we'll just click save. One other type of menu item we have is a 1-for-1. So these can be things like cans, bottles, bags of chips, anything you're selling on its own and you're not really doing anything to it. So an example of that could just be like Coca-Cola. When we're just selling a bottle of Coke, you can just come in, you search the item, and you're just going to have that as one. And that's it. And when you're done, you'll just click save. One other thing we want to look at, like I said before when we built out that kit, so say here we have our hot chocolate. Now that we built out that drink kit, we can come in and we can just add in our drink to go kit, add in our hot chocolate mix. So it's that simple. When we add in that to go kit, it saves us a ton of time, so we don't have to go through and add the cup, the sleeve, the top, everything to that. And when we're done, we can just click save. So when building out our recipes, obviously we know restaurants and businesses have tons and tons and tons of recipes that they need to build out because sometimes there's a ton of menu items. So our suggestion, when we're first starting off building out our recipes, if you come down to the menu profitability report, from here, we're going to be able to see our all different things like quantity sold, total sales, how much it costs us. In order to get to this point where we want to see how much it costs us, we can come to quantity sold and filter, and we can start building out our top 10 menu items and then go from there. So here you can see we sell a ton of coffee, so that would be a good place to start and start building out our coffee, our cake decoration, our chocolate cake. We'll just start with our top menu items and then we can move on from there. Once we build this out, well, we're going to be able to see our profitability, which is something pretty cool. One last thing we want to look at is the cookbook. So that can be found right up here underneath the inventory tab as well. And in the cookbook, we're going to be able to see all of our menu items, and you can simply just click on the menu item and you'll be able to see your prep time, your cook time, and how long it takes to get ready and what ingredients that you need. This is a really great tool for giving to your staff. If say you're catering a party and you say, oh, we need 50 chocolate cupcakes, you can just come in here, click on the cupcake, and then just, here we go, our chocolate cupcake. You can come in here, come up to the print button, and you can print this out for your staff. You can also add in pictures, make it look real nice. So that's just a cool little feature we have on the side. So now today we went over syncing with your point of sale or manually updating your sales and menu items. We went through preparations, sub-recipes, menu items, our different types of menu items, which include modifiers, our menu item itself, one-for-ones. We also went over our cookbook and a little bit into the menu profitability report. So now I'm going to open it up to questions in a few minutes. I'll also be sending out this recording and the slides, so just stick around if you have any questions. Thank you.